Good morning, Michal. Good evening. I'm checking in with you for a couple of reasons. But first, I know that all of your sisters and I want to know, how are you?
Wow. You just called me right after we had a bunch of rockets falling, but in the area where my parents and all my family live. And I hope it doesn't get here. So I was with them on the phone just before you called.
And you want to repeat what you
And
told me might happen?
yes, and I told you that in case there is a siren, I will have to go and disappear for 10 minutes or so. And yes, I feel like it's like walking a tightrope. It's staying in the moment and finding the center and not trying not to have dark thoughts. And today I'm alone, there's nobody. And it's so important to be with people also these days because it's really helpful
Yes.
not to go down with thoughts.
From over here, it seems like you are doing amazingly well with this. I remember I spoke to you the very first day. Do you
Right.
remember what you were saying?
No, tell me.
Well, you were kind of caught up in it, of course, because it was so raw. And
Right.
then you decided, I saw you decide, I'm going to turn toward my work. There's nothing else I can do except my work.
Right. And it was really strange to start painting angels whilst there are war airplanes constantly for days and days and days, and the atmosphere is like freeze. Everybody was frozen. I mean, when I was not painting, I was also in a state of freeze, in confusion, like, what do you do now? What do you do with yourself? And I think somehow talking with you was really helpful, because I said, what am I going to tell them? And you said, what am I going to send? I think I wanted to do a sale at that time. And I told you, what am I going to do? And you said to me, just don't give them doom and gloom. And this really helped me a lot because I felt like, okay, come back to the center. And since that day, this is what I do every day. It's not that I don't feel fear or that I'm depression or I cry, but it's coming back again and again and again and again and again and again to remember who I am, and also wanting to bring something meaningful. Because when I'm not working, I can sometimes just be glued to the couch and not be able to move at all. It just really, oh my God. So also not to beat myself up because my head is saying you're not doing enough, you're not enough, and look at these, they're doing so much, and what are you doing? So not to let that happen,
Mm,
because it's part of what is keeping us small, is beating ourselves. I know I'm saying us because I know we all do it,
yes,
and I
yes.
feel like this is the time to find my light. It is forcing me, and yeah.
Wow. So many things. Yeah, our conversation was part of a larger conversation. We were not doing what people say, like spiritual bypassing. Of course, there are horrendous things happening. And I want to say that about today too, that we send all of our prayers and our love to you. And, there are many people speaking about what's actually happening and the political part of it. And, Michal, I'm working right now on a kind of project with women where the main question is, what is mine to do? And I
Mm-hmm.
think you're touching into that.
Right.
Like how can I help, right? And I think why I
Mm-hmm.
said that to you that day is because art and this light that comes out of you when you paint and share your painting
Mm-hmm.
helps us more than if you went down into some kind of dark place.
It's so true. I have most of my friends are therapists, and they all went immediately to work with all the people that were wounded in the party and all the people with deep, deep trauma that were in the places that were directly attacked. And I was like a bit jealous. But then I thought, gosh, I'm an apple tree. And I'm that's what I'm made for. I'm producing this kind of fruit. I can't be that.
Yeah.
So
You,
maybe
you,
paint.
we always say an acorn always makes an oak tree. Yeah.
Right.
You
So
use apple. I love it.
and so I volunteer at the center for the community, and people come to paint. That's what I do. So I started this angel painting. Actually, it happened after my brother died, and I thought, okay, what am I going to do now? And I was like talking with him in my head, and I heard angels. So this is how it started, and it
Yeah. It
continued.
started with him before
Yeah,
this was before everything happened
yeah,
with the bombs.
mhm, yeah,
And so it was kind of in your heart and your mind already.
yeah. Hmm. And then it was so amazing that so many people started doing it. And also in the community here, people come, they don't paint, and they paint amazing paintings, and they find peace, at least for this moment. And maybe a woman said to me, well, I feel like I need to cry. What shall I do? And I told her, will a hug help you? She said, no, no, I'll go inside. We were outside on the balcony. And she just curled up, and immediately someone was there
Mm.
working with her. It's so amazing.
Mm.
And it's so amazing to see the people who are painting. And
Yeah. So
and
let's talk about that a little bit.
yeah,
I think you called for angels, correct?
yeah.
And I just saw the
Or they
woman.
called me.
Yeah, yeah, they called you, and then you said, let's share our angels. I
Right.
think that's the first thing you said, and then you actually brought everyone together to paint at the same
Yeah.
time.
Actually, it was an idea of one of my students, and she said, "Why won't we all also paint at the same day? We will all like create a frequency of peace." So yes,
Nice. And I see just by looking at your group, Art is My Medicine Community, that you have 91 angels have been painted.
with a
How does this,
slideshow.
yeah, no, so how does that feel? I mean, as how does it feel? How does it
Oh,
receive in your heart?
oh my God! It made me like teary every time I saw and read what the women were writing, and I just felt like I have a back of so many angels, and that all these women were just now painting. They're my angels, because it really lifted me up. I think it was the one major thing that helped me lift me up. Also because I was giving, and I was in a community in a way, and I feel like it's so important to be in community now and do
Mm.
things together, paint together, or whatever.
Yeah, do what we do, right? What is mine to do?
Yeah.
Um, tell me what angels mean to you.
It's funny because in our culture, we don't have paintings of angels with wings. And
I was wondering.
yeah,
Yes,
um, I mean, I think in the Bible, there are angels. We call them cabbages,
really. But
cherubim.
I'm not sure, and I'm not a Bible scholar, but I'm not sure they're described. Maybe we've come up with this
Right.
image.
But it wasn't in I think it just happened with my brother, because I really wanted to connect with him after he died. And it just came. It was an intuition. It's like everything I do is intuitive. It's not coming so much from my mind. And I paint, and it takes me time to understand what I'm doing. And I think seeing everyone else painting the angels and reading what it means to them also helps me to
Mm,
understand what we are doing.
amazing.
But
It's
yeah,
really inspirational. I have to speak for everyone. I can't even imagine. Well, maybe you couldn't have imagined it either, to think, oh, yes, I'm sitting down here now, but I was just talking to my parents because there are bombs coming in.
yeah,
But and yet you glow like there's something being burned away, maybe.
wow.
your essence is coming through, Michal.
It's like you have no choice.
Yes.
When it first happened, I thought, well, maybe it's the end. Maybe we're all going to die and we're all going to be attacked and the war is going to spread. And I was just breathing it in and thinking about it and being scared at first, and then thinking, okay, I have to befriend death, as my friends were saying, also befriending death. And when you are so close and it's in your face, you have to wake up. You can't waste your time. Although I still beat myself up on the head when I feel like I'm wasting my time. I'm lying on the couch for hours some of the
I'm sure
days.
it's very tiring.
It's extremely tiring. Everybody here
Yeah.
is exhausted.
Yeah.
We sleep a
That
lot.
kind
I
of
feel like I want to
stress.
go to sleep and wake up when it's over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to read something to you. It's something we have a very beloved figure in this country named Mr. Rogers. I don't know if you've ever
Yeah,
heard of him.
I
He-
did. I
when I
saw
was
the
a little,
movie.
oh yeah, okay. So he had a little kids television show, and for anyone who doesn't know, and I was a little too old for it, so I thought it was kind of slow, but apparently he was such a kind person. And he has a quote.
Mhm.
And this quote was he said, when I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.
Wow,
And I think, isn't that beautiful?
so
In
beautiful.
time, yeah, yeah. He said that in times of disaster, he remembers his mother's words, and he's comforted by realizing that there are still so many helpers, so many people who care in this world.
Uh-huh.
And we have to turn toward what is happening and think about what is happening and um, and use that part of our brains. But in times when it's just all too much,
Mhm.
if you can think about the helpers. Now, I saw you being that helper.
Mm.
Some of the other things, what are some of the other things you've been doing? I know you were feeding the soldiers and
Yeah, these soldiers, they're all children of my friends. They're all like the kids. They are being sent to fight now.
mm,
And there was such chaos here that there was no food. So the people are feeding the army and cooking and giving them a place to shower. And yeah,
you are also doing free classes, right?
I'm still doing every week. My friend created she has a center. So she opened all the events in the center for free for the community. There are pots of soup for everyone, and meditation, social workers, psychiatrists, psychologists, I mean, body workers that you can get a massage or any and art and knitting and many things, beautiful things. So I feel it's like an oasis, and I'm so privileged to be part of it
Mm.
and to have such beautiful friends. It's so important. I think it saves me to have such good friends.
To help the people that you can. How have they received your classes? What is
Oh
it
my
like?
God, they are so grateful. They all say we didn't know that art can be like that. It's so therapeutic, and also they have amazing results. They enjoy and they love it,
Mm. Mm.
and they can also talk with each other and talk about what they're feeling. They're not alone,
Just to gather together. Yeah.
and they are in beauty. They're in beauty. They have paints of gold and glitter, and it's all very beautiful and peaceful and very relaxing music. Sometimes I play the flute or I do some sound on the tools that are there.
Lovely.
Yeah. So
Michal, I know that most of you can't work right now, that there's so much, whether or not it's because you're just exhausted and there's too much to do to help everyone, or you literally shouldn't go out of your homes and go to
well,
workplaces.
the first 2 weeks everything was closed. Now things are open again, but not everything. Like
Mm.
my husband can't work maybe twice a week. There is a
Mm.
job he can do. And I mean, people don't want to travel. So I was planning to stay away from the computer and do less online things and do events at my house. But now people don't want to spend money because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't want to buy a shirt because who cares about that? You don't want to do all of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I want to do, and I feel like I have to give. So I'm giving this as a volunteer, the painting classes, and I'm thinking of doing more events. Also because I feel like my life have to be meaningful. I have to contribute. I have to.
And so one of the things that makes us feel good, I don't know about everyone else, but I feel like if I can give directly to you, then I know things are going in a good direction. And so I think a lot of us would like to, and I know you're planning some other events for us.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I wanted to do an online course, a pre-recorded one, the Earth Body, but I'm not going to get into it. I think I will do it live. Maybe it will be like 3 meetings. I also want to do the Colorful Friday, I call it, like the Black Friday sale. And also I have it more affordable because I know so many people are having issues financially now, especially here where I live. So I want to open it for like big discount. And I also opened my family said, why won't you open like a Patreon? So I found coffee and people donate there, or maybe they share the angel class. It's donation based.
Nice. Okay. So the angel class is still on donation base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Lovely.
I might do more like this. I really
Okay.
enjoy. I feel like things has to change.
Yeah.
I tried this and it was so beautiful. Made me so happy. I might do
Good.
more of these.
Good. Well, we're happy to support you in any way that we can. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring you on and
Thank you
just
so much.
see, it gives us hope to see the light in your face. We all worry about you.
Thank you.
And is there anything else you'd like to say before we finish up?
I want to say that I'm so, so grateful. First of all the people who helped support me really, I mean, it really saved my month. And also gave me a feeling of that I'm contributing, that I'm also receiving, but I can give my light and not freeze.
Yeah.
So it's like a win-win.
Well, I work with energy and I believe in energy, and there can't be anything better for the world than women all around the world painting angels and sending peace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Fabulous.
that was, I think, wow. One of the most amazing things that happened to me lately is to feel the energy from all these women who were painting. I have no words. Just really, really grateful.
Okay, well, we're going to check in with you again, but thanks
Thank
for
you.
getting on with me.
Thank you so much, Anne. Thank you for supporting me also. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, love. Bye-bye.
Bye.